Hello, everyone, and welcome to another batch of movie commentaries. Today we're doing Kung Fu Panda.
Oh boy, a pretty good film. And we even brought a guest today.
Introduce
Hi.
yourself.
Oh, right,
Okay.
yeah. Hi.
That was your cue, Deji.
Follow the teleprompter.
Hi, I am Deji from Blue Zone. Okay, this teleprompter is moving too fast for my liking.
All right, then
Anyway.
just go off script.
Hey.
You told. Hey, before we started, Deji, you told me move the teleprompter a bit
Do what
faster
the
so
cre-
we can start.
Don't worry. Don't worry. Do what the creator from Jim did in the first game. Improvise.
Sure, why not? How's everyone doing? We're here to watch Kung Fu Panda. Great movie. Probably one of the best Dreamworks movies that they've ever produced. And
Which is amazing because it came out a year after Shrek the Third.
Oh, don't worry, dudes. We'll be
Until-
having a good chat about DreamWorks' history during this commentary as well.
I'm
Deji,
sure.
Deji, that's an interesting way of describing Prince of Egypt. But
never seen. I always watch Ten Commandments instead.
oh, okay, sure. I love Ten Commandments as well. I mean, but it's an alternate take. My focus is more on the brotherly relationship. But anyway, yeah. Okay, so this movie is, as far as I can tell, there's no extra logos or anything like that. Dueb's version is the same as ours, apparently. So we should be fine.
Start at the custom DreamWorks Fisher logo.
Yeah. I'm ready. Go ahead, Shiri.
All right, then. 3, 2, 1, click.
Okay, so how to describe DreamWorks, at least before they got bought out by Universal? DreamWorks are like that red-headed stepchild who would be in the corner, who is capable of great things, but you wouldn't know it at first by looking at them. Why do I say that? Well, DreamWorks had... Okay, whereas Disney have full-on eras that you can divide them in, DreamWorks operates a bit differently in terms of their quality here. Like, let me put it like this. They tend to have good chunks of movies, then maybe a bad flick here or there. So here's the thing, though. They didn't really have a truly bad film until Shrek the Third came about. So after when Shrek the Third came, some people were starting to wonder if maybe DreamWorks' streak had really hit a snag. This also caused people to reevaluate certain movies in the past, like 2004's ever-beloved Shark Tale. But
It wasn't that bad, okay?
it's not really. It's just that it's aged terribly. Like, you can tell it was specifically made for that year. My point is, like, well, in the wake of that, though, DreamWorks won the crowd back with this film, Kung Fu Panda. And let me tell you, this one is kind of like Trolls Before Trolls in the sense where people didn't have that much faith going off of the trailers, but when they actually saw the movie itself, ended up with a very good picture that they weren't expecting. Trailers, even back then, they could be misleading for quality's sake.
Well, they've
Why do you
always
think?
been
Why do you think I was?
good.
Why do you think I was put off watching Madagascar 3?
Yeah, the trailer.
Yeah. No. I agree. No, this movie is okay. But I far prefer the sequel. The sequel is where it's at for me.
So, let's start off by one thing this film does great, the animation. Both 2D and 3D.
Honestly, I kind of wish the whole movie was like this.
Kind of
Well,
would
what,
be cool.
what was DreamWorks' last 2D film?
Was that Road to El Dorado?
No,
No, Sinbad.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
Sinbad.
guessing that film didn't do very well.
Actually,
Almost none of them did.
So
The pr-
returning from
Morning, neighbor.
Shark Tale, we have Jack Black as Poe.
In a much better role, fortunately. Jack Black. This is exactly the perfect character to cast Jack Black in. So yeah.
The up-and-coming rookie who wants to be better? Yeah, that's one of Jack Black's sticks. Certainly a better stick
Unless
of...
it's Jumanji or School of Rock.
What is this? What is this?
Wait, hold on. But he... Oh, right. A different trope there.
Yes,
So yeah,
Pedro?
So yeah, what is this? A duck who has a panda for a son? What is this weirdness? Well, we'll explain in the next movie. Could you imagine if this movie flopped and there was no sequel, and then that question would remain unanswered?
It would have
I
been
mean,
one...
it didn't matter at the time. It was just like, sure, okay.
Yeah. It's kind of like one of those gags where you question it really hard, but it's so bizarre and funny that you can pretty much shrug your head and, maybe go, you know what? Yeah, maybe a duck just hooked up with a panda. I've seen weirder stuff.
If only more films about Destiny had like more mundane stuff at the end. One day you will take over the restaurant, or one day you will learn how to cross the road, or something.
I actually do appreciate how wholesome the relationship between father and son is in this movie. Like, if there was one thing I was afraid of, it was that his dad was constantly going to be the one who berated him for having bigger dreams here and there, yada yada yada. No, thankfully it's a lot better than that.
Yeah, especially in the second movie. That's where it really comes into focus.
Oh, by the way, Pedro, regarding 2D animation, DreamWorks did bring it back for that 5-minute short film Bird Karma in 2018.
Bird Karma, I don't think I've seen that.
Well, I mean, it's a short, but hey, it counts, I guess.
Who voices his dad?
Let me check his
An actor.
All right, Dustin Hoffman. Yeah, Dustin Hoffman of all people plays the master.
And he does a
Hey,
pretty
look,
good
it's
job.
It's Zick from Sonic Lost World.
Huh.
Well, actually, that's it. Well, actually, the art style of this movie actually reminds me a lot more of Chunnan from Sonic Unleashed.
Yeah, they did come out the same year.
Huh. So these
And
are...
hey, and also, I mean, oh yeah, I just remembered we got another returning actor from Shark Tale.
Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
Well, DreamWorks' whole thing is the celebrity voice acting thing. That's kind of one of the key pillars of their animated films. So
I mean, Pixar does it too, but I feel like DreamWorks really wants you to know, hey, look at the celebrity.
Okay.
Well, I mean, in this case, I think it also helps that they try to have act. In this case, it's two actors who were previously in one of their more infamous movies in a good one this time.
Like,
Wait, which one was Angelina Jolie in?
Shark Tale.
Shark Tale, Deji.
Who-
Shark Tale was
Who does she play?
the
the
lionfish.
lionfish.
The fish
No,
that
I-
looks like her.
The fish that
Oh,
Will Smith
Lola.
was with at first.
Yeah, Angelina Jolie fish.
Like I said,
Ha, 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 ha.
yeah, the lionfish, whose theme is literally Gold Digger, but yeah. So this bad dude, Tai Lung, is apparently set to return. It definitely puts Dustin Hoffman's character in a bit of a strut there.
You know, there's a show called Ninjago. Its 5th season pretty much steals this entire movie's plot.
Not surprising.
It's like, oh, this is Kung Fu Panda.
He is right that one often meets your destiny on the path you take to avoid it. It's kind of the literal sense of a self-fulfilled prophecy.
More like you're trying to run away from your problems, but eventually catches up from you.
And in
Okay.
some way, trying to run away from them just accelerates the problem catching up to you.
So Hakuna Matata
I guess Destiny
was
would
bullshit.
know you'd do that.
Dwibs. Lion King 1.5
the point.
established it that was
Yeah,
broke
I
up.
know.
Well, it depends. Jova. If you're watching the Portuguese dub of Zootopia, then it was because in Zootopia they do have an exclusive Lion King joke about that. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's pretty much established from the get-go that, yeah, that was the case. Get it? The rabbits have a lot in their family.
Obviously. This is a joke as old as Bugs Bunny.
It is one that can still work, though. I'll give him credit.
I have no problem with it. I'm just saying. I don't have any problem with this movie. Period. I just think I think it's a perfectly serviceable kids movie. That's it.
I feel like the sequel is better, but this
No,
one
the sequel. The sequel is amazing. Like, seriously, talk about a freaking jump in quality.
Okay.
Seriously.
This is one thing that tends to be the thing about DreamWorks. Well, at least again, I say before Universal buyout, because post-Universal buyout, I feel like a lot of the soul went out of DreamWorks, but assume I'm talking about DreamWorks before that. DreamWorks, the way I see it, we're kind of like the anti-Disney in the sense whereas a lot of Disney sequels didn't always improve that well, DreamWorks' films tended to improve quite a bit with the sequels here. Shrek 2 was an immense improvement over Shrek 1. Shrek 4 was an immense improvement over Shrek 3. Madagascar 2 and 3...
Yeah, I like how you just ignored Shrek 3 being an immense improvement of Shrek 2.
Yeah, well, Dead. I don't spout bullcrap, but yeah,
But you do cherry pick.
Debatable. But anyway, Kung Fu Panda 2 is an amazing step up from Kung Fu Panda 1. And, of course, How to Train Your Dragon 2 and 3 is pretty phenomenal, while the first one was already a good one here and there.
Oh, no, yeah. No, it's it's actually very similar. Well, it's not entirely the same, but similar in the sense that although, like, with Kung Fu Panda 3, Kung Fu Panda 3 is a good movie. I just think it basically rehashes a bit too much for the second one.
That's why.
And, with How to Train Your Dragon 3 is a great finale to the trilogy. However, I still think the second one is the best of the three.
I guess my main point is, like, well, at the very least, by the second movie, a DreamWorks franchise does improve significantly. Again,
Sure.
pre-Universal buyout.
Okay, to be fair, okay, to be
Were they bought out?
2012.
No, I think it was a bit before
No.
that.
I feel like it was later, actually.
After that, sorry, after that.
Wait, really? That soon? I could have sworn it was later.
Since we're on the internet.
Oh, whatever. The point is, I don't know if I'm going to give complete credit and fairness. At the very least, I don't know if it was before or it was because of the Universal buyout. The original plan.
There we go. Go on,
the original
Pedro.
plan back when the sequel came out, the Kung Fu Panda 2, I mean, was to have 6 Kung Fu Panda movies, which I didn't think, like, seriously. So at the very least that, because because you can already tell by movie 3 that they were not exactly filled with ideas for 6 movies.
So I don't think that was a thing with 2. That was the original plan since the first movie. But it's yeah, I don't think we need. I'm not against it, but as long as you have ideas and know what you want to do instead of rehashing.
I really do get the feeling that part of the issue was that DreamWorks were looking for what was going to be the next Shrek. You know, Shrek turned out to be a phenomenal hit. That spawned movies, spin-offs, TV series, made-for-TV movies, and the like here and there. And my guess is was that after Shrek the Third didn't do as well, they're looking for something else to be their safety net here because...
because if you have to realize that a lot of their movies really didn't do so well in the box office. It's like Kung Fu Panda, How to Train Your Dragon, those did well. Megamind, it was okay.
I feel like Peabody and Sherman didn't.
I feel like Megamind did fine.
Well.
I feel like Megamind actually did well at the box office. It did great critically and reception-wise. The problem was it kind of got snubbed quite a bit in favor of less deserving movies like Brave.
I thought you were gonna say Despicable Me.
Actually,
that movie was good.
Joe, but not for nothing, but Megamind came out in 2010 and Brave came out in 2012. So
Wait,
I don't think you're.
Never mind. I have mistaken there, but yeah, Megamind got snubbed by something else.
Well,
I think it was Toy Story 3.
Toy Story 3 and Tangled. Those were the ones that were primarily given awards in terms of animation.
And don't get me
Same
wrong.
goes for music, Toy Story 3 for everything else.
Don't get me wrong, those are good films here and there, but if there is one issue with the Oscars is that sometimes they give stuff away just because it's Disney. Like, that was legit a fear on the year that Spider-Verse came out.
And people are still looking for someone to complain about that movie being, it didn't do so well at the box office. You watch MCU films. You hate animations. Like, Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Anyway,
All very unwarranted comments, but
I look, we're all adults here. We don't care if we watch cartoons. I just feel like so many people are too insecure about that.
Okay, I love this bit. Yeah, that didn't turn out as cool as you thought it would, did you, Poe?
Yeah. Also, Deji, that attitude you just mentioned was very prolific in the brony community.
So, well, like C.S. Lewis said, when I became an adult, I decided to give up anything childish, including the fear of being caught doing something childish.
Oh! That is going to leave several marks.
I mean, CGI-wise, you can still tell it's the CG has been had a lot to improve upon.
Well, this was 2008.
Yeah, yeah.
Is there a Pixar movie in 08?
Wall-E.
Never seen.
Wall-E looks amazing animation-wise. Like, seriously, that movie still looks gorgeous even to this day.
So yeah.
See, yeah, I actually saw this film before with Pedro.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, turns out Destiny has decided that Poe will be the Dragon Warrior. Kind of caused him a bit of pain, but hey.
Well, it's Destiny, Dustin. Sorry.
Yeah, Destiny kind of does whatever she wants.
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't aware that Destiny was a she. I thought Destiny was just an ethereal concept.
Oh, Destiny.
Some people
funny story.
will say
Actually,
I know. Like, it's just a thing.
Yeah, funny story. This film was actually the third highest grossing movie of 2008, behind Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull and The Dark Knight.
Huh. Interesting.
Where was Wall-E in that scale? I'm curious.
Yeah,
Wall-E was 9th.
Okay.
So yeah, there you go. A DreamWorks movie outgrossed a Pixar movie.
Again,
it did well in China. China really loves these films.
Well, that's not surprising at all.
Yeah, I mean, like, compared to what Disney tried to do with Mulan.
Obligatory joke out of the way.
Okay.
Plus, to be fair to this movie didn't exactly have a whole lot of competition on the day it came out. I mean, after all, it was up against box office powerhouses like The Promotion and You Don't Mess with the Zohan.
Oh God, I've heard of a second one.
I've never heard of these films.
And it came out a week
Neither
before
have
The
I.
Incredible Hulk.
You Don't Mess with the Zohan. Wasn't that Adam Sandler flick?
It's an Adam Sandler flick. I haven't seen it.
Also, hi, Michael Clark Duncan. Rest his soul.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Yeah. And you know what they say? Don't shoot the messenger. By the way, this messenger Zhang is played by Dan Fogler. Oh, by the way, Dej, you were wondering who plays Mr. Ping Po's dad? That's James Hong.
Okay.
He's been in
Then it's
a
got
lot of stuff.
This movie also has a score composed by John Powell and Hans Zimmer.
Nice. So, just to show that Tai Lung is held in the most secure possible section of the prison ever, let's show him.
Oh yeah, James Hong voiced the main villain of Jackie Chan Adventures in season 3.
Mm-hmm. He was also in Avatar: The Last Airbender as well.
Yeah.
Tai Lung's voiced by Ian McShane.
Huh. Blackbeard, eh?
He plays Winston in the John Wick films.
So, Blackbeard.
Yeah, well, I know him more as Winston. The affable and professional manager of the Continental. Well, unless you break the rules.
So, yeah, by sending a messenger there, Shifu may have accidentally have provided Tai Lung with a feather. Seems like small beans, but trust me, that's going to bite him in the butt something fierce later on.
No, I don't think they think you're a sacred hole.
That's what.
Also, I think the director of one of the co-directors of this went on to make The Little Prince.
Yeah, Mark Osborne. Yeah, Mark Osborne, the director of this movie, right after this movie, left Hollywood to go to France to work on that movie. So yeah.
What movie?
The
The Little Prince.
The movie that was it was directed by the guy who directed this movie and written by the guys who wrote Spider-Verse.
It's a lovely movie.
Hard to believe, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, a mystical trampoline, Poe. How positively reinforcing.
Yeah.
I do like the idea. I like the dynamic between Poe and Shifu, how it grows over the course of the films.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Has wait, have any of you guys seen the other films?
Yep.
You mean,
I saw the second one, but I haven't seen it as much, so I don't really
I've
remember
seen all
it.
3 of them.
Okay, well, yeah, right, Blues hasn't, but I'll save it for when we see the third one.
Mm-hmm.
Because they do kind of have like a father-son relationship.
So, when you get down to it, Poe has, you know, a father in the duck and a father in Shifu.
Yeah. I think the best way to put it, I guess, is more like a mentor-apprentice relationship rather than anything.
Well, I do know what Dej is talking about.
We already have the actual fodder for that kind of stuff.
Well, yeah, it is shown there. But, yeah, to be fair to Dej, I get what he means about Poe having something of a father-son relationship with even Sifu. It's sort of in a different way, though. Ping is done in more the traditional father-son thing. Poe and Sifu is a case with a father and son who don't see eye to eye at first, but eventually have to learn eventually. So anyway, these are the Furious Five. So, you got Angelina Jolie as Master Tigress, Seth Rogen as Mantis, Lucy Liu as Master Viper, David Cross as Master Crane, and our good old Kung Fu master himself, Jackie Chan as Master Monkey. Which, I gotta admit, that's actually pretty good casting.
Yeah, it is. That's the one thing you cannot complain about these movies. The casting is great.
Yeah, like
the first movie gets J.K. Simmons to voice the villain,
and it actually works. Like, okay, I'll give DreamWorks this. Sure, yeah, they like to have their celebrity cast members, but for the most part, even on some of their worst movies, it does feel like they actually hand-picked actors who would work out the best for it. Like, hell, even with Boss Baby, I totally get why they have Alec Baldwin in the starring role. And it makes
Saturday Night Live did too year later.
Yep, as well.
Sure.
Although I do need to know, do people really care about celebrity casting when it comes to animated movies?
Honestly,
really.
I don't really know.
Some people do. I don't even understand why. Some people have that. See, the thing is, some people. This doesn't even just apply to animation. Even applies to live action as well. Some people have this issue where when they see a specific or hear a specific actor, they can only think of the actor. They cannot even see the character. They just hear like for example, some people complain that when they hear look at Shark Tale. Shark Tale is a great example. People cannot. It's a great example of some people can't even look at the characters themselves because whenever they speak, they just see the actor. They just think of the actor. I cannot even think. I cannot even think. What's the name of Will Smith fish, Jova? The actual character name.
Oscar.
People cannot even see him as Oscar. They just think of him as Will Smith fish because the voice is so immediately recognizable that they cannot even separate the voice from from the character. Like I personally can. I don't even. I never really understood where that problem some people have comes from. Personally.
Anyway, back to the movie. I love that little visual gag here where the Furious Five are actually trying to help Poe, but Sifu stops them from helping them with a sadistic grin on his face.
For me, it's different in the sense that the reason I just see him as Will Smith is because his character is just so unmemorable.
I just see him as Will Smith because this race was literally digitally rendered to be like Will Smith.
Also, the whole how you do felt I listen to hip hop, rock, and rap. Sorry,
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, we get it, it's Will Smith.
That said, though, I'd say that's more the fault of the movie in the sense where, and you know what? In a case, I still do find it as good casting here and there. Because
they tried really hard to recapture the magic with Shrek.
Yeah.
Instead of fairy tales, it's more hip hop, but it's not done in a sincere way.
Pretty much. Shrek! I didn't know who Mike Myers was, but Mike Myers practically made Shrek a religion without people really knowing him that much. Oh, don't get me wrong, he was in a lot of stuff as well.
Austin Powers.
Yeah. But Shrek was something that he really did make his own and a phenomenon because of it.
I wonder how it would have gone if they went with the original Chris Farley, if he didn't pass away.
Might not have been as successful. There's something about Mike Myers that really helps the character of Shrek immensely. Ooh.
Mike Myers is used to playing grotesque-looking characters anyway. So.
Like the Cat in the Hat.
The movie that was so bad that they pretty much put the brakes on all other live-action Doctors.
Okay, which one did you prefer, Cat in the Hat or Grinch?
Oh, definitely the Grinch. That one was actually
Grinch
good.
easily.
Cat in the Hat.
What about, if we're comparing bad Mike Myers movies, is Cat in the Hat any better or worse than The Love Guru?
Never saw that one.
When it comes to
I don't remember The Love Guru.
When it comes to Dr. Seuss adaptations, you're just better off watching the Chuck Jones adaptations.
You know, like even as a cat person, Cat in the Hat is an awful movie, and I am not giving that movie anything.
Penis allegories, because it's for kids.
Yeah, put it this way. I think there's a reason Bo Welch never directed anything until Series of Unfortunate Events, the Netflix show.
Okay, another thing I do like about this movie, bringing stuff back to this movie, I like how the Furious Five actually do regard Poe differently each year in there. Like, Tigress obviously doesn't like him, sees him as the guy who stole what was meant to be hers. Monkey is kind of a jokester guy who will tease Poe a lot. Viper is one who actually does mean well by Poe and tries to be nice. Mantis is just a grump, but Crane is actually the one who does try, like this bit here and there.
Oh look, shipping.
Wow, nice to meet you too.
Well, okay, is that like something that happens in the spin-offs or something? Because in the movies it doesn't happen.
I think the shipping...
Because Panda and Tiger mythology.
I only really thought that the shipping started around the third movie between them anyway.
Well, it's something that grows over time. That's why I was told.
That is one thing I'll give.
It's like, you realize how she's completely antagonistic towards him, and the second movie that they become, she starts to grow respect for him. In the third movie, she genuinely does care.
Yeah, that is another thing I do like about Kung Fu Panda as a whole with the trilogy. Even with the third movie mooching a few things off of 2, it does still show a sense of progression that allows you to look at the trilogy as a whole as a very good epic and odyssey of Poe's. One where he really does grow, and just becoming the Dragon Warrior isn't so much the end of his journey here. It's just the beginning.
I would have personally ended it at 2 if I was the one making it personally, because I don't particularly care for the final scene of 2.
Oh, I love this line. Hold on, this line.
This is a scene that my mom keeps reminding me of. This line.
Oh, for a second there I thought all the peaches were going to fall on top.
So yeah, Sifu, remember how Oogway said that the path someone takes to try and avert destiny can lead to it happening? Well, congrats! You sending a messenger gave Tai Long a feather, which allows him to now work the locks of his prison.
You should probably get the person who's not trying to be here out of here.
You've got very terrible aim. Oh, so easy.
Yeah, Mark Osborne is a really good director, actually.
The choreography in these films are really good.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, basically, if you want to see this director really bring out his entire artistic talent, watch Little Prince. It's great.
It's on Netflix theme.
Yep. Well, that's the thing. That's how it was. That was the official way of releasing it in America anyway. So it's always going to be there, most likely.
Ooh.
and Britain. I think it did come out in cinemas in France, though.
Wait, that's the movie that came out in 2015, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
It's a combination of CGI and stop motion.
Hey, Willem, Scream.
The most overused Scream in history.
It's tradition at this point.
I like listening for it, though.
Oh yeah, I do too. It's just
But there it is.
You know, if they were smart, they would have done this before he got up there.
It's a matter of pride in them, insisting that he wouldn't get out with each trick here and there. Besides, knowing Tai Lung, he probably still would have found a way through all that anyway.
Shifu taught him to way too well.
Mm-hmm.
Did anyone ever see the spin-off show Legends of Awesomeness?
No,
No.
I only saw the actual proper main 3 movies.
I saw maybe a snippet of an episode, but I'll admit the wonky animation really turned me off from it.
I don't typically watch DreamWorks spin-offs and TV shows. Not because I don't like them or anything. I just never got around to watching them. I'm not.
They're not.
Is the
They're not
animation
that
there
good.
as bad as the ones in the TV show of Monsters vs. Aliens?
It's better.
It's
That's
on
not
par with
saying
Penguins of
much.
Madagascar.
Okay.
Okay. I will say this,
ahead.
though. I do recommend the Netflix DreamWorks show of How to Train Your Dragon. That one's actually animated very well and is a very good story as well.
So it's better than Legends of Berk.
I've
Yes.
seen I've seen a few episodes of the first series of the Dragons TV show, but other than that, in terms of DreamWorks shows, I've only ever really watched some of their 2D ones. Like I've watched a couple episodes of Voltron, and I'm on season 2 of She-Ra.
Mm-hmm. So, Sifu, I guess you failed then. Considering how you said earlier, if the panda has not left by next morning, then I have failed you.
Well, hey, he's trying, while everyone else is being a huge shit to him.
But Dwibs, what do you mean? He's just a fat panda. No way he can be the Dragon Warrior.
And they're just jealous because they didn't get picked to be the Dragon Warrior.
Pretty much.
They're like, they're almost as bad as the ants in A Bug's Life.
I will admit, in their defense, imagine if you had spent your whole life training to be a dragon warrior, and then literally somebody fell from the sky in front of you and got picked instead. I mean...
It's the only reason they're act like a bully towards him, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, trust me, absolutely. It's not justification, but it is a point as to why they have ranging bouts of paying mind to him.
We're here to create characters, Dwibs, not saints.
Yeah, like, let me put it like this. I mean, it's a matter of pride, and come on, again, tell me you wouldn't be, at the very least, upset at somebody who, as far as you knew, was literally a poser who doesn't know the first thing about actual karate, and he's supposedly... Yeah,
sure.
Does leave me to wonder whether the turtle meant to whether the turtle was just so shocked at how Poe just fell to the ground like that. They just he survived that big fall. I'll pick him.
Oogway's that kind of character where half the time you wonder, is this guy off his rocker? To the other half where you think, okay, he was actually 10 steps ahead on the game plan.
It's a shame he didn't quite clue anyone else in.
Yeah, even Oogway admits he's not the best of that stuff.
So bitter.
Oh, Sifu has a very good reason to be bitter.
Oh yeah, I know. It's just hilarious.
Yeah. Boing. I do like little character moments where Viper actually does scold Mantis for making fun of him.
I also do like I do like that. I always do like those little jokes, whereas like the character's just falling down a pit or something for ages.
And so many stairs to climb back up. No. That's the Cliff Notes version, Poe.
That's what everyone else knows, anyway.
Yeah. This is actually an interesting bit here, where Tai Lung actually had the typical hero's journey of orphan found on doorstep here and there.
It's always the orphan found on the doorstep. Are just no orphanages in these animated films?
Look, man, no one wants to adopt children, so they have to put them at a random person's doorway.
Maybe in this instance, he was put there because this is considered a sacred location. Maybe they thought it'd be safer there in this particular case.
I've always wondered, what if
it also would be safe, Shirai? An orphanage.
But,
if it's a Charles Dickens orphanage, then in that case, I would agree with you.
Oh, God, true. This is kind of one theory I have. Wouldn't it be interesting if the actual parents of Tai Lung knowingly abandoned him on that doorstep just in the hopes that he would be made the Dragon Warrior?
And explodes because of the pressure points. No?
No. He's not heartless like that. But yeah.
This is a Fist of the North Star.
Yeah.
But yeah, the interesting thing about Tai Lung is he's sort of a deconstruction on someone who is supposedly destined to be the hero. But then, when it turns out he's not the hero, well, he defaults to more sadistic methods to try and be the hero to the point where he's really a villain.
He's basically the opposite of Poe. He's literally the Yang to Poe's Ying.
Again, Ninjago did the same thing. There was a student that the master had, and he raised him. He kept thinking, "Oh, he's going to be the Green Ninja," and when he wasn't, he went rogue, and it cost him his life. And then he comes back as a ghost. It's kind of messed up because he goes full villain.
Go on, Deji.
The primary idea, and this will become very apparent in the climax. Like I said, again, to go with the theme, Tai Lung is the Yang to Poe's Yin, literally, because the Poe will even confront him about that aspect, even during the final battle. So yes.
Yeah, I'm actually in terms of people thinking that this person's the chosen one when in reality it's someone else. I've seen that kind of plot in I read that plot in that Avatar Kyoshi book.
Yes.
Which one is that?
It's I forgot the actual name of it, but it's a prequel to the show.
I'm pretty sure it's just titled Avatar Kyoshi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Said Bob Ross.
I thought someone was going to come on and say, "No, you're an accident" or something.
Wow, in this kids movie.
Well, Shiori, there was a line like that in the original She-Ra cartoon, so yeah. Nothing's gonna grow if you don't water it properly.
Also, sometimes destiny just isn't what you'd like.
Sure that. That is another thing I do like about these movies. Kung Fu Panda, again, on the surface, it looks like it's your usual comedic, wacky stuff, but no, these movies can actually be pretty thought-provoking, especially two.
Well, the first one is you're of course the underdog hero type of story. The same kind of, so you saw something like Karate Kid. Like it's a very traditional story. Whereas the second movie takes all those elements and further expands it with a more of a how should I put this without spoiling?
Nuance.
Well, I was trying to be a bit more specific. Not it adds in it adds more character tragedy elements to it.
Well, my purpose in the movie's done. Bye.
You must believe.
See you in the afterlife.
Holy crap, he got Thanos into a bunch of flowers. But nah, all kidding
Cherry
aside.
Better being Thanos into dust.
But I mean, nah, all joking aside, that was actually a pretty sad scene.
You always had the secret ingredient.
That's for later.
Okay, to quote Dragon
Stop being pedantic and eat the damn food.
Okay, Tigress, to quote Dragon Ball Z, there's a point where training just becomes torturing your body. And that's when it stops being training and productive.
But it builds character.
Oh god, building character. The usual parent's excuse for having their kid go through stuff a kid really doesn't need to go through.
See, this is genuine humor, and I do like it.
Yeah.
Moments like these definitely do help with the characters just having a good time.
Oh. It is kind of.
He's not here.
The Dragon Warrior is not here right now. Please leave a message.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, he kind of died.
Yes. He got taken by a pair of cherry blossoms. It was very tragic. The wind's gonna defeat Tai Lung.
It's very interesting how many different stories I've seen that try and deal with the concept of destiny. This with a guy who does believe it but isn't sure how to handle it. Then there was Fire Emblem Awakening, where that story's premise was basically Destiny can kiss my ass.
Oh, you've played Fire Emblem Awakening.
I know enough about the story.
Neat.
That's pretty depressing.
Yeah. Self-loathing. You don't know yet?
Oh, that could have gone better.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the secret kung fu power of being able to leap hundreds of feet into the air.
Yeah, why do you think people like to learn kung fu? It's not easy.
Yeah.
Be quiet, people are trying to sleep.
While you dance and jump on their rooftops.
Also, they're called the Furious Five. You know, Furious as in Fast and Furious, as in made by the same studio who would go on to own DreamWorks.
You're really stretching it now, this.
You know, okay, I guess to be fair, things didn't go immediately.
You need to really hop and shaw that. Oh wait, that was bad. Sorry.
That's even worse.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, somehow that was worse.
Yeah.
Anyway, you know, I guess to be fair, things didn't...
Hopefully we'll see the fate of the Furious 5 soon enough.
That was better.
Yeah, okay, that one was better. But yeah, I mean, I guess to be fair, looking back, things didn't immediately go all downhill when Universal bought DreamWorks, you know. And, you know, DreamWorks can still occasionally churn out the good movie. It's just that, well, between stuff like... Okay, maybe it's just that when Comcast bought Universal, things definitely felt soulless, but... Man, Universal is just a company that we've been having lots of issues with in the past. From stuff like the Land Before Time movies, to The Wiz, to Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
The Universal has never been... honestly, Joe, Universal very rarely has even been that much of a saint. Like, even in terms of, like...
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Okay, with Disney... Warner Brothers, DreamWorks, and Paramount Pictures, usually I can think of a good long era where they had, you know, pretty much mostly solid films. Universal definitely seems to have been a movie wrapped up in controversy after controversy, though.
Mm-hmm.
I'll never forgive... Okay, I can maybe forgive them, but I'll always remember them as the studio that made the Thunderbirds movie.
Ooh... So Shifu may have found a way to train Poe.
Yeah, the problem was he was trying to teach Poe the way how he taught the others, while not trying to use his strength, Poe's own strength.
So the way to a man's enlightenment is through his stomach.
Well,
of course.
Sure, why not?
You know what? I'm not gonna say it because she already.
Actually, no. Yeah, this method might just work for Shiroi, maybe.
What?
Well, like you yourself said, you're always hungry, so maybe this encouragement method would work for you.
I was gonna say, said every woman ever, but okay.
Oh. Well, I mean, you don't mess with my food, so...
You'll be like this.
Pokemon.
You'll be like this. Hey, Shiroi, want to meditate so you can reach enlightenment? He's like, she's like, no. I'll make you some ham. Like,
I'm going back to my sandwich. Thank you.
But what if I make you an even better sandwich?
You've
got my attentions, good sir.
I'd be willing to try the devil sandwich.
The sinner sandwich, you mean?
Sinner sandwich, yeah, that's it. Same thing. It sounds terrible, but I'll try it.
Yeah, by the time he's finished, that food will have gone moldy.
Go figure.
Well, I mean, if they're freshly made, they shouldn't.
Training might take a while. Yeah, where'd the main villain go?
He's just taking his time.
That's the thing, Dibs. The weakest part of this movie to me is the villain, because the villain is never really given that much in terms of character development. Like, yeah, he hates Tai Lung because of the past between them, but in terms of personality, he's just your generic bad guy. Really, he's not really given that much of a personality.
He's the obstacle rather than a character.
Basically, yeah.
Like his
forever to show up.
His characterization is basically misguided, chosen.
Don't worry, Glebs.
False chosen one.
Don't worry, Glebs. The next movie has it's a fantastic villain played by Gary Oldman.
Oh, one of your favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Commissioner Gordon? No.
Hey, remember that time when Commissioner Gordon was alongside Batman, was alongside Nick Fury?
Wait, what are you talking about?
RoboCop.
That's the 2014 reboot?
Yes, that one has Michael Keaton, Gary Oldman, and Samuel Jackson in it.
Brilliant.
So it's better than RoboCop 3.
Is it?
Like that saying something.
Hey, look, it's the Sonic Unleashed scene.
Oh my god, Sega, you ripped this off 0 out of 10.
Actually, that's the thing. They came out the same
year as Sonic Unleashed.
No, it was a joke. Thank you.
I wouldn't be surprised if that one CGI short was influenced by this.
Well, actually, the CGI shorts were included in the game itself, Deji, so they were made during the game.
Yeah, but it's like, how long was it? Like a 2-minute short?
Yeah, but if you're talking about the ship and the Sonic shorts that are completely, those are included in the game itself, so they were clearly made at the same time that the game was being made. So
yeah,
so it probably was also a coincidence as well.
Probably, yeah. Kudos to this movie for making a chopsticks battle of all things actually seem intense.
I know, right?
Are chopsticks that durable? Because they're definitely...
It depends on the material.
It's a cartoon. God.
There are.
You can get some pretty sturdy chopsticks legitimately.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just gonna say, out of everything that you've seen from this movie so far, that chopsticks being durable is when you're crossing the line.
You realize that I'm mostly just joshing, right?
I don't. It's hard to tell with you sometimes.
But yeah, to answer your question, some chopsticks are that durable, and he got it. Wow. That the first time for everything. Also, don't throw away a perfectly good dumpling.
That's good food. What the heck?
Waste.
Jeez.
Yeah, you know what? I hate this film. This is a waste of good food. 0 out of 10.
I know this was a personal attack on me.
See, this is exactly what I said. The method we're using for Poe would definitely work for Shira as well.
Finally, I get some screen time in this movie because it took me forever to get here.
But I'm not going to have any voice lines.
Even though I'm voiced by Ian McShane.
That does not count as a voice line. Oh, there we go.
Well, that's true. Die, you moron.
And years later, the internet will make a meme out of that.
My favorite one is finally a Whopper.
He's a somewhat more restrained version of a Karate Kid villain, basically.
Although he's admittedly more murderous, unless we're counting the Karate Kid villains from Karate Kid 4.
Well, yeah, I'm counting all of them because they're all cartoonishly evil.
But Pedro,
Have you guys seen? Speaking of Karate Kid, what's Cobra Kai like?
Oh, okay. Now this is a funny story. Has anyone ever seen How I Met Your Mother and how Barney points out that when
I know. I'm like, did How I Met Your Mother create Cobra Kai? Because it's like
Cobra Kai is literally that gag about how the villain is actually in reality the hero, and Ralph Macchio's character is just someone who was over-dedicated and was really the jerk when you actually think about it. It's all in good fun, of course. Ooh. Also, yeah, this fight scene is pretty awesome, and you got all the fact that Mantis is the one holding up the bridge.
Ah, so Cobra Kai is a D-boot.
it takes place from the main villain's perspective of the first one.
Yep.
Yeah. Because now he's the protagonist, and the protagonist from the movies is actually the antagonist, so...
What a twist.
Speaking of twisting... twistity, twist, and around it comes...
Behind you.
And there's a lot of phones in feudal China.
Yes. Oh, snap.
I think Jove has caused the time paradox.
They're mostly dead.
There's a difference between mostly dead and all dead. Please open his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
He's flexing. That's why he didn't kill them.
Yeah, it's like that. Now you can go back and tell people how I kicked your asses.
Remind me again, Dwebs, if I remember correctly, the score for this one was done by both Hans Zimmer and John Powell?
John Powell, yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, the Sacred Scroll.
I'm guessing Mark and Hans maybe have some kind of friendship as well, considering Hans did Little Prince as well.
I think John Powell was a I think Hans Zimmer was a mentor to John Powell.
Sure. Well, a lot of them are. Lauren Balfe, for example, that's another one.
Yeah, if he dropped it in there and the prophecy scroll got smudged.
Awkward that would have been.
I'll think already, we haven't got much time.
Focus.
Plot twist, the Dragon Warrior thing was just made up by the bad guy, so that
that wouldn't really make it.
So Tywin created the own legend that he himself failed to fulfill.
He's a Kingdom Hearts villain. It makes all sense. It makes so much sense.
Wow, sure, when you put it like that.
To find a worthy opponent.
No, that's the thing. Apparently, he created the legend that he himself is after.
And failed to get.
Just a peek.
Like I said, it's all bullshit.
Actually, it's not.
You already knew what you must do.
Yes. Basically, well, hey, maybe you could look at it by the blank paper. It's a metaphor to say that.
Oh wait, I get it. I get how I play in Quackshot. You just have to dive the map into water to reveal the paint. So try diving in water.
No, wait, guys, I got it. It's blank to symbolize that no warrior is defined by a piece of paper. He defines himself.
Actually, that's exactly the moral. Very good.
Yeah. I did say I've seen this movie before, but it's been a while.
Okay,
mainly I've been catching up on my Pixar and Disney backlog.
And DreamWorks.
Well, mainly Disney and Pixar.
Wait, actually, think about to go back to the Ninjago thing. Think of it as Kung Fu Panda if the Furious Five were useful.
Well, the Furious Five are technically useful.
I mean, besides doing this, I mean, it's like they were more involved.
Let me put it like
they
this.
didn't just stay by the sidelines. They actively tried to help in any way they can, even if they cost them their lives.
What's the Furious Five are technically doing here? Let me put it like this, Dutch. For the first movie, the Furious Five are meant to be the subjects of the Worf effect. What's the Worf effect? It's essentially to have someone incredibly powerful and skilled get defeated by the bad guy to show how serious he is.
Yes, I watched Dragon Ball.
Well, remember, like you said, like DBZ did this too with the Z-Sword subplot.
Oh, the Z-Sword subplot.
Where the Zord was just an excuse to get the person trying to learn it to, actually the training itself was a train.
Honestly, Jover, I thought the Worf effect was him suggesting stuff only to be told no.
There was also, it's a common thing. I mean, remember, Toriyama did it in the original Dragon Ball when he told Krillin and Goku to carry glasses of milk. It's a very common trope in this kind of story where the master will tell the student to train in a very unconventional way that he himself doesn't. That sounds ridiculous, but then ends the whole wax on, wax off thing. Mm-hmm. It's a very old trope in these kinds of stories.
Yeah, we know. You see, we call that the placebo effect.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of a placebo effect, another good moment for Poe and his dad. No joke, a lot of people thought he was gonna admit that Poe was adopted.
Well, I mean, you can't really blame them.
What I'm saying is like, well, that's actually a pretty nice fake out there.
Mm-hmm.
Case in point, the placebo effect.
The mind controls your body. If you Dr. House in season 3, also that's an episode that was kind of a reverse placebo effect, where like the mind controls the body. If you think you're sick, it will make you sick.
Now that I think about it, wouldn't it be funny if this is actually in reality what the Krabby Patty formula is?
No, it's plankton. This is also the plot to Kung Fu Hustle as well.
Have not heard of that one.
No, Kung Fu Hustle. Somebody else. I can't think of it.
Ow. Yeah, Tai Lung does bring up a good point here and there. While he himself did need to learn humility, Sifu did not exactly raise him the best with the delusions of grandeur.
Yeah. That is Shifu's issue.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought I was going to cast a spell on him or something. Fine, have it. It's blank anyway.
Don't tell him that, though.
Ah, fuck, I broke it.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how they're destroying it, and you think that Poe would cause more damage.
That's some delicious irony right there. Oh, snap.
Oh no, Blue Fire, the more dangerous one. He's Azula. Run!
Well, he does kind of have a villainous breakdown like Azula did.
Well, if you stop punching me, then I can tell you.
I mean, Azula's breakdown was a lot more satisfying to witness, though.
Yeah.
Oh, it was.
Well,
that was a long time coming.
Well, those kinds of those kinds of scenes work best when they make you outright love to hate the character.
Exactly.
Whereas with Tai Lung, I don't really love to hate him. I just see him, like Deji said, I just see him as an obstacle for Poe to learn his lesson, really.
The writers took the time to make us genuinely hate this woman.
Yeah. Like, holy
Well, they
cow.
had 2 seasons to do that.
And they use them very, very well. I do like this moment as well, though. It does show that Tai Lung did have an opportunity to actually let this all go, but he chose not to.
And he did think about it, kind of.
I will admit, in some ways, I do feel like the villain of 2 is basically Tai Lung realized to his full potential in a lot of ways.
Yeah, completely different.
Well, there are some similarities, like the jaded villain here and there. The one who is not the complete bad guy, again, really kind of got raised badly, but then tossed out at a bad moment here and there. You kind of see his deal, but that doesn't excuse his evil.
I have to disagree. There might be some similarities, but at the core, they're two different.
It's more so the fact that the villain in 2, for one, has a lot more personality to him. The fact that he has a very short temper in particular allows for a lot of good moments for Gary Oldman to have an excuse to go ham in a way that feels good. Whereas this guy is just kind of boring.
I wouldn't say he's boring, but I'd say he's a little undercooked. Like, there's definitely a very good story in mind with him, but it would have been nice if we had maybe gotten to see more of his past.
Come on, he's not an MCU villain. Let's be real.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh, those are some sturdy noodles.
Must have been hard-boiled for success.
Ow.
This wasn't the fight he was expecting.
I guess that's...
He was right. He did give him a battle that he never expects.
Yep, and definitely a worthy opponent. Like, that's the thing about Poe. Yeah, like I said, he's the guy who you don't expect to... Oh my god, I just realized Poe is in some...
That's what I said.
Yeah, underdog.
The underdog hero, like I said, yeah.
Not to say, I just realized Poe is kind of a representation of what Dreamworks like back in the day. The underdog studio that ended up surprising a lot of people with how good they could actually be.
Sure, even though they were formed by ex-Disney staff.
Yeah.
Well,
ex-Disney staff and Steven Spielberg.
So basically, a rich guy who had a lot of money and connections.
Yes.
Well, remember the idea of making Prince of Egypt to begin with was Spielberg's idea. They were both him and Katzenberg were, figuring out, okay, what can be our first movie? And then Spielberg was like,
"Wait, was this before or after Tiny Toons, Animaniacs, and all that?"
Oh, after.
So again, he already had some pedigree with animation.
Sure. He was the one who said, "Why don't we do the Ten Commandments?"
Prince of Egypt is from 2000, right?
No, she's right. That's like 1997, I think.
Never mind.
1998.
1998. There you go.
All right, close enough.
Look at him. He's so disappointed.
You are the secret ingredient. Dun,
The
dun,
secret
dun.
is friendship. No, wait. Maybe the secrets of the scroll was the friendship we made all along the way. I'm too fat. It doesn't work.
That's the thing. As was mentioned earlier, his pressure points are very different from the usual stance.
can imagine the voice recording sessions for this bit. Okay, Jack, Ian, yell like you're being hit and hitting people.
And Ian, scream like you've just bit your own tail.
Yeah, oof is right. Defeated by a belly.
He'll come down eventually.
That's what happens. So that's what happens to Team Rocket every time they get blasted off.
They must have developed some sturdy skin from all that happening.
I'm a Kung Fu Panda.
Oh boy. Okay, now there is one issue I do have regarding the villain. It's that we never see what that hole did on him. Like, did it destroy him? Did it just knock him out and forever erase his memory, and that's why he's not a threat anymore? Did it blow him up?
Is he dust now?
No,
he sent him to the Shadow Realm.
They actually just pushed him back in that hole in the ground.
Well, okay. To be honest, on the whole Shadow Realm thing, even if it was just to get around the whole we can't show death in a kids show thing, I think if Shadow Realm actually does kind of make sense in Yu-Gi-Oh, considering it was very mystical. And
well, actually, that's the thing. The Shadow Realm is actually a thing in Yu-Gi-Oh, even in the Japanese version. The problem is that 4Kids overused to the point in scenes where it wasn't even. This is in the original Japanese version. It was a saw. But no, in 4Kids version, it's a dark energy disc.
Well, it's still better than whatever the hell I'm trying to do in One Piece.
Oh, yeah. God. Dwibs, a train!
It's better than a complete train wreck.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's like, well, you might as well be saying that stubbing your toe is better than being caught in a train crash.
Yeah, I've been showing Pedro some One Piece 4Kids clips recently.
Oh, thoughts, Pedro?
Well, take a wild freaking guess.
You hate it, don't you?
Well, I'm not even a One Piece fan to begin with anyway, but just based on a dubbing standpoint, it's just... Ugh.
Well, watch the Funimation dub.
Oh, no, I'm aware. That's the thing, Deji. I tried watching One Piece via the Japanese episode sub, and I didn't really care for it personally.
Oh,
the most amazing thing was that the changeover from company to company happened in like a week.
Oh, I love this bit.
But I'll say more later. And 2 more sequels.
Oh, apparently it did send them to the Spirit Realm. If the Wookiee is anything to go by.
Huh.
I just needed a nap. By the way, what did you do to him?
Reminds me of that joke.
Yeah, according to a Wookiee, in the third movie, it reveals that people who have the hold used on them are sent to the Spirit Realm.
Huh.
Reminds me of that joke in Kung Pao. Master, you're alive. I only did this. That doesn't mean a person is dead.
So yeah, the movie just ends there.
Yeah, it ends a bit abruptly. I agree.
We do get an after credit scene, sort of extending it, but Yeah, there's the ending.
Weird.
Well, we'll get to that.
Anyway, we have here our very good
God,
rendition.
That was Seth Rogen.
Not a fan of Seth Rogen.
Nah, he looks like somebody I know in real life, so just anytime I see him, it's like, oh, it's weird.
So yeah, we have here a very good rendition of Kung Fu Fighting being sung by CeeLo Green here.
Oh, that's CeeLo Green.
Too
CeeLo
bad no
Green's
one likes him anymore.
What? Did not know. Honestly, was there a controversy involving him?
Allegedly.
Oh, alleged.
Oh, one of those instances. Okay.
Well, the song's still good, regardless of the artist.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are other versions of the song we can listen to anyway.
Well, I'll admit, this is kind of my favorite version of the song, but I digress.
Sure. Again, like we've said in Bugs Life, at this point, he's not even getting credit for this version at this point anyway. He's not getting any revenue from this song at this point anyway. So the record company is so.
And that is how you give acupuncture to a snake.
Fascinating.
Yes.
This is information I will use.
Cool. Good to know. And look at that. Poe was actually able to get Monkey's jar because he perfected the art of the split. Again, this movie is very good with its visual humor. So, shall we get to talking about final thoughts?
Sure.
Can I go first?
Sure.
It's fine. I mean, it's not I won't rank it up there with DreamWorks Best or anything, but it's a good enough start with Simon Wells.
Yes.
And Jennifer Nelson, aka the director of the next movie.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, yeah, again, it's okay. It's got some good action, and the story is interesting. It just didn't quite live up to all of its potential. But I mean, after the disaster that DreamWorks had the previous year with Shrek the Third, this was definitely a bit of a sigh of relief.
Yeah.
To show that DreamWorks was still capable of making movies that didn't make me want to curl up and scream.
Yes, folks, Shrek the Third was that bad.
It was a very bad movie.
It was worse than Shark Tale.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Look, okay, Shark Tale,
I don't know if I go that far.
No. I'm definitely going to agree with Dwibs on that.
Shark Tale wasn't very... Shark Tale wasn't very good, and it aged horribly. Shrek the Third was bad in 2007, and it's even worse now.
Pretty much. And at least I could say I had some laughs at Shark Tale.
I'll have
so
to
much
watch
with
it
Shrek
again.
the Third. Which one? Shrek the Third or Shark Tale?
Shrek the Third.
Oh boy.
Remember, Joe, I've never been exactly a Shrek fan to begin with anyway, so I'm a bit more I'm less I'll be less disappointed than most people.
Let me put it like this. Shrek the Third is the kind of movie that's so bad that it can disappoint people who already didn't like a franchise. That's how bad it is.
I just found it to be...
I'm aware of that, Joe.
Not the best, it's just whatever.
Okay.
Not to mention Justin Timberlake's character in that movie was just...
Basically, Dad, here's the thing. Shrek the Third's badness is accentuated by the fact that it was following up a sequel that a lot of people definitely did really love. So to follow it up with a sequel that not only was less than 2, but was weaker than even the first one.
Yeah, it's the third movie curse. That's very common.
You either become absolutely phenomenal by the third movie, or you fall off the rails. Yeah.
And you're just showing them the scrolls.
Cute.
But back on the subject of this movie, it's show off. It's again, it's okay. I haven't seen 2 or 3, but I did see a few DreamWorks movies that came out after this era. So after this film, to know that DreamWorks were at least attempting to get better. So, so there you go.
Okay then, Dej.
Good movie. I was really excited when it first came out. I didn't get the chance to see it in theaters, but I did get to see it on the plane and during the summer. So I was like, yes, good. Don't regret it.
Absolutely.
It's one of DreamWorks' best, and I just hope that they know when to keep a good thing going. Like, if they want to do the 6-movie plan, all right, but you have to make sure that you know what you want to do instead of like, we have to make a 3rd movie. Look at Zachary.
And even Sifu gets a laugh at that.
But casting's great, choreography's great, animation, while a bit dated, it's still watchable. And they knew that they had something good going here. I just hope that it doesn't fall off the rails. Well, who knows?
Anyway, go ahead, Shiroi.
Yeah, no, I love this movie. It's a lot of fun. I don't remember how much better the sequel is, so I'll take all your words for it. But it is a good start. It's still really funny. It's still charming aside from, some character issues. Like not really so much with our main cast, but with the villain so much. But that's really my only issue. This is still a pretty good movie. Who's next?
Pedro.
Yeah, it's a perfectly fine movie for what it is. Like it does exactly what it sets out to do, and it does it fine enough. So yeah, I guess it's a fine enough start. Kung Fu Panda 2 is where they really fully realize these ideas. So I definitely recommend watching this after watching the first one, because it really does a good job in making this one feel better in hindsight. And that's basically it, really. Like, the villain is boring. He's kind of like an early MCU villain, and it really like, I mean, he serves his story purpose, I guess, but it's not particularly, especially considering how they're trying to go for like the yin yang thing, like Tai Lung is what would happen if Po was a bad guy, but they don't really flesh that dynamic out, really. I mean, they just do that thing at the end where, although unlike Tai Lung, he realizes what the scroll means, but aside from that, they don't really go that deep into it. So it's just an idea that gets unexplored, and handled much better in a sequel. And that's about it, really. It's fine. It's perfectly fine for what it is.
All right, shall I go?
Go.
So yeah, Kung Fu Panda is a very good movie, I honestly would say, here and there. The music is phenomenal and top-notch in there. The animation was definitely very good for its time, and I enjoy the story. Tai Lung, I feel, is a good villain. Not the best villain, but he's definitely not early MCU villain tier. Like, he definitely just feel like he has a lot more thought and nuance put into him. A lot of more subtle moments here and there put there, here and there, too. I do feel that we could have done a bit more with him, which thankfully the later Kung Fu Panda movies did with their respective villains, but Yeah, overall, Tai Lung's a fine enough antagonist. As for the other characters, Sifu was a nice foil to Po here and there. Oogway is a very interesting mystical master of the arts here, who, like I said, is pretty much 10 steps ahead of the game plan while appearing to be crazy and senile at first. Kudos to him there, and I do like the each different members of the Furious Five, who will expand on more in sequels here and there. The casting works out well and fine here and there. It's just a movie that, again, feels very well and fine to me. And it was definitely, it was the movie DreamWorks definitely needed to show that Shrek the Third was just a fluke, and wasn't going to be a sign of how the company would be, thank God. So, kudos to this movie. It was a good, fun, romping time, and I'm definitely looking forward to the even better sequel. So, without further ado, that's Kung Fu Panda. Tune in for whatever comes next.
See ya.
See ya.
Yeah.
Ta-ta!